Peace to the gang, and welcome to Quit the Cat Podcast. Peace to the gang, and welcome back to Quit the Cat Podcast.
Yes,
it's your boy BP alongside the Bishop,
right.
And Positive could not make it today, so it's gonna be us cutting up,
That's
no
right.
filter. We going crazy.
That's right.
Quick vibe check, Bishop. How you feeling, man?
Feeling good, bro.
Feeling good?
I feel good today.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
I'm feeling.
How about you?
I'm feeling good too, man. I'm feeling good. The energy is the sun is shining, the energy is pouring through us. You know what I mean? Summer parties and solstices and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? Just enjoying the vibe of life, man. That's it.
Yes, as we should.
Absolutely,
so we
absolutely.
Get to, cut up in our girl's absence.
Yeah.
This is her. She's the plant.
She's the plant. The plant is holding her down.
The plant is holding her down.
Plant the tiff.
She's not here today. So what's going on though? What's going on with you? Since it's us, I want to find out what's going on with you before we get into these conversations today.
Man, I'm good. Just working, man. Just working to find the things that I love, eliminating the things that I don't, and improving on the things that I want to improve on. You know what I mean?
Is that hat original design by you?
It is, man. It definitely is.
That
so
hot, bro.
Feel you? Appreciate it, man. So. Just trying to be creative on that front too. Just make more shit. Just make it up as I feel.
That
you know what I mean?
Hot right
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Is them joints for sale? You selling?
This one is a 1-on-1.
Okay.
But they can be. You know what I mean?
I like that.
Yeah, they definitely can be for sale. It say B, it's no easy. Oh, that's the money. This is no easy way out right here.
Okay.
And on the other side is the money bag, and the B with the crown on it. You know how when your name start with B, you got to put a crown on it. You feel me?
I got you. My name start with a B.
I already know. That's what I'm saying. You understand what it's about.
Absolutely. So I wanted to first talk about, because we didn't get to talk about the. Bronny went to the Lakers.
Yep.
55th overall pick.
Shout out to him. Shout out to his pops.
Got his contract. He's done signed.
He got some bread. Got some mills. Got some M's on the table.
He played in the summer league game and averaged 4 points.
That's normal.
That's normal.
That's for him.
It is. Wait, but how? See, so that's what I'm trying to understand. If that's normal for him, right? Because if that's normal for him,
right.
And you only scored 4 points in 21 minutes out there. Like, 21 minutes.
You could have got your thing on.
Like, bro.
He ain't had too many rebounds or nothing either.
Bro, that's half of our workout session. We leaving the door and we leaving out.
20 more minutes.
So my boy was out there balling, ball in his hand, and he had 4 points.
4 points.
Listen. They gave him a contract.
That's the power of nepotism. We see white folks do it all the time. So... But that's the problem. I'll be like, yo,
see, bro,
I like that he got it.
I think I'll be bothered when we say what they get away with or what they're allowed to do.
Okay,
I feel like that's part of conditioning when we say that, because we, like, shit that we know is unfair, but when we do it, we say that white people do it, so that, like, gives us, like, stamp. Like, because that's what it is. It's a stamp.
It's kind of like
it's a stamp.
Clearing
it's a stamp that we can be just as ignorant because they do it. Or if they jip the line and we do it, who can really get mad because they do it? And see, what I don't like about that is that's the standard they wanted to set. Like, that's a standard they wanted to set. They wanted to show that they're the superior race and that they're superior. So when we compare things that we feel should be okay for us, we compare it to their standard. And that's what they always wanted. Like, that was the whole thing with Christianity. That was the whole setup for European, like, race and classification.
Right.
And they wanted to be superior and for us to be inferior. And that is a way right there when we be like, well, they get away with it. We're measuring ourselves to what they feel is
I get you on that point. But what I'm saying for him is, like, we need to, as black people, like, Bron is in a position where he can put, like, his son is trash, but he's in a position, I don't want to call the man trash, but we don't know what he's capable of as right now.
He's growing into it.
Yeah, he's growing into it.
He's growing into his shoes.
Listen, he ain't never going to fill them joints. But I still believe he has a lot of work to do. Like, you've been given this opportunity to step on the NBA floor when I feel like there's probably people way more qualified than you.
We ain't gonna say probably.
Right. There's people that are way more qualified than you to be out there, but you're out there. And I salute Bron for putting his son out there.
Right.
But did you put him in front of a speeding train? Because he may not be ready yet to be out there.
Even if it's a speeding train, when you're that high up, you can control the narrative. The bruises won't be as hard. Like, it's not going to be... Social media is vicious, but it's not going to be as hard. Like, you know what I mean? It's not going to be... They'll find a way to soften it. I just don't like that other kids are getting overshadowed.
Right.
Like, they didn't even mention that the rookie that they did get in the first round, he had 14 points.
He did his job in 21 minutes.
Yeah, in the same amount of time. So, you know what I mean?
Bronny said... Give him the ball. He's supposed to be here.
You know, so that's my only thing. Like I get it. I get where people want, you know, and I'm a LeBron fan. Like LeBron's the best basketball player I ever seen play the game of basketball, and I seen Jordan, Kobe. I seen I seen some great players. Dominique Wilkins,
Duncan, all of them. Like
so. I get it, and I love LeBron, and I want to see him win, his family win. They're already winning.
Right, they winning. They winning
at
big.
The end of the day, though, I am an underdog. I am a get it how you earn it type person. I agree with all things from the mud. I agree with all things that grow like mushrooms in the dark. It takes some time. You in it. You stuck in the darkest place.
Right.
You grinding. You out doing your thing, and you get there. You earn it. You come from that place. Like you don't gotta come from.
You prove yourself.
Yeah, you prove yourself.
Yeah, like I appreciate when you can prove yourself.
I feel like, other kids and they're gonna get that opportunity.
A lot of kids ain't gonna get that opportunity.
Especially being the 55th pick, second round, you already got your contract and you getting more talk than other kids that are good.
Then the number one pick.
The number one pick.
They posting your stats, your 21 minutes.
And it's not to celebrate you. They showing that you trash. And then like people in the comments like, that's his college stats. That's his college stats. And I feel like I'm glad I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm only on champion being black and it being a black man giving his son a job. That's only going to be in my that's dope for a little bit because then we got to win. So this is what we got. Yeah. Listen, we got to win. Bro, listen, if you can't help us win, bro. If it was my team, I'm not celebrating that. Yeah. When they come to my team, we want to win. I don't want it to be Giannis and his brother. Like I don't want that. I don't want that on my team, bro. Like that's a spot for somebody that we trying to win a championship. And just because Bron got his championships, people on the rest of might not got none. We want to win, so we got to entertain. That's my only thing. And I like the players that didn't go there. You know, that I felt like they're not going to come out and say that's why they didn't go there because Bron got too much control. But even Clay said, I want to win. Like, and I get what you're saying. Like, him adding a piece and him being the focal, and you're not showing me how we're going to win. Right. Nobody as a Laker fan right now can say, this is the pieces we got and this is how we going to win.
Have no clue.
Or they going to do one of these mid-year, get your players, and then you'll do that little shuffle and get a good team like Bron does. Right. But man, nobody got time for that.
Nah, not for.
So I'm glad I'm not a Lakers fan.
Yeah, I agree with you. You definitely got to get it from the mud. You got to work.
Yeah.
It's cool that he gave it to him, but now you got to really prove yourself, kid. Yeah. Like, and I don't.
But
if he wasn't. Again, that's the messed up part because any other NBA, if you came into the NBA at any point in time and you got summer league, if you don't prove yourself by summer league, you going to the G League and you ain't staying in the NBA.
So that's what they said he already going to be in the G League, right? They said he's going to be in the
G League.
But I think it's going to be very selling, so to say, if he does beat their first game and he does get to come out on the court with his pop and however that scenario goes.
But I believe his pop is going to make that happen.
Yeah, so I I don't know how long they'll be out there or how long that's going to last. Like, I don't know if it's going to be like a real quick couple minutes so the crowd can go wild. LA, you know what I mean, TV, like, oh, Bron's out there with his son, or are they going to really leave him out there knowing he only scores 4 points?
What's his defense like? If you score 4 points, you better play great defense.
So, like, that's almost quarter and a half.
Yeah, it's a quarter and a half of ball. Yeah, so, you didn't participate.
Yeah, so even if they brought him in for like 3 minutes here, 3, spread it out.
Then I feel like as a rookie, you don't have to go through the same L's that other rookies got to go through. That rookie hazing, you carry my bags, rook, you got to do this. Like, you get to avoid that because your dad is like, he's the coach.
You think so?
You think they're going?
That's going to build resentment in the team.
That's what I believe. But you think Bron is going to let them pick on him?
So all the teams, right, bro? That when you look at like that privileged person from Russell Wilson, when you heard from you heard with Giannis and his brother, coaches getting fired because somebody, like, bro, that team you don't win. Like,
you can't win like that.
Stuff, and I feel like in that aspect, it was all about him, his family, his legacy, and how that looked. It wasn't a Laker move.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. So, it didn't have nothing to do with the Lakers. You know what I mean? Like, that was the team he was on. That's what we wanted to see. I'm going to sign my son or I'm leaving.
I feel for me and for the culture, we need bigger wins than that.
I agree.
I
agree.
Rich, and I ain't calling him entitled, but he's those
entitled.
wins like that.
Bro, that's entitlement.
Me and my culture and my essence of being a black man, or like, that's not a win for me, bro. In my culture, that this man who already runs the league and he dominate, like, okay, you got your son. That's not a win for us in the culture. Right? There's a bunch of dads. They might not have played together, but there's a whole bunch of.
I mean, Steph Curry, his dad played in the league.
You can name a whole bunch.
Gary Payton Jr., his dad played in the league. It's a bunch. Like you said, a bunch. Kobe's dad played in the league.
Yeah, so I don't be hype about it, man. I don't be like, people be hype. Yeah, just a win. Damn, win for who?
I don't know. I just the arguments that I've seen is like, y'all just so mad that he did this for it. And it's like, nobody's mad that he did that for his son. There's no such thing. But like you said, if I'm a Lakers fan, I want to win.
Yeah.
Don't give me your leftover kid who just like, and be like, yo, he's going to come in here. He's not changing shit. And we're not going to get no dubs because of him.
So I be feeling like this is where I do feel like, I do want to say this before we go ahead and veer off. Them private teams don't get you ready like street and playing.
No, it don't.
And playing against the best kid in the city, playing against the best high schools. Like, I think when them people had their little privileged kids playing in them private leagues and go off to college through a private league,
right,
you don't get the rep. And
you don't get pushed around.
Yes, you already in there with kids that probably are trash and that's rich.
Right.
You know what I mean? That
didn't have to grind for
that's
it.
Not the same. That's not competition that gets you. Like, when you seen him out there doing all that stuff, and then you seen dunking and all the previews they wanted you to see.
Right.
But you ain't see them same highlights you was seeing from high school. When he got to college, you ain't see none of that. It was all silent and quiet. You know what I mean? During March Madness, he was on the team. There was no
didn't do nothing.
Sports Center highlights of him or none of that stuff, and it went just straight from UCL. What is it? USCLA? USC, and then straight to the.
But so I feel homegirl on the women's team at USC got more clout than him, and she's a baller.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, but she earned it from the mud.
Yeah, she got that, and that's what I think. I love to see. We love to see that.
Yes, that's my thing. Earning it from the mud.
Earn it, get it, grind for it, and when you go, everybody salute you and celebrate the fact that you're going because you earned it. We watched you earn it. But it's cool, you got to hand it, but now you got to earn it. And this ain't the time. It's too late. If you haven't earned it prior to this.
Yeah, I'm going to say, what is he earning? He already got the bag.
You ain't going to earn nothing in the fire.
He got to earn the world's people's belief? He got to earn their belief, or do you think it don't matter?
So
because people don't.
So if you, as an athlete, as anything in life, if you want, what do you want people to respect you for what you do? Yeah. Like, of course you want the bag, but I want to be respected.
I want to be respected for the work that I put
Absolutely.
in. It's not so much what I do, but the work that I put in to do what I do.
Absolutely.
I think that's the biggest of all things, the work ethic of a person that's putting in the work, like putting in the work. You get when you go. So let's say like we practice things like you walk around, you taking shots, like you taking pictures, or not for nobody. There's no
just
pressure.
taking them, just practice.
Developing your eye, seeing the nice pictures and the flowers, and doing your thing, and that's making you better. Like going out, taking pictures, being able to look at colors, seeing the shape of buildings mixed with this, catching the tree between the, you know what I mean?
Exactly, how you should line things up and how everything should be set. And, like,
that's the practice.
All that,
that's the work. Like, you know what I mean? And then that mind and that part of practice goes over to when you making videos and doing commercials. Like, it develops the mind.
When it's game time, it's easier to function in game situations, so to speak. If you don't have that rep, you got to run those reps. You got to keep shooting. And that's not to say that half the shit you shoot won't be trash. But it's just the fact that I learned.
Because you're gonna have trash shit.
Right, you're gonna have it. So it's just like I've learned how to pivot.
Right.
Because I made that mistake. So I know next time I won't go into it like this, or I won't shoot this direction. I'll shoot like this, or I'll switch something.
Right.
But if you don't have them reps, when you get out there. And it's crazy once you get out there among grown ass men who's like, bro, we don't care who you are.
They ain't gonna care, and they gonna like. It was me. I'm making it my mission to make sure you don't get no points when you play.
Oh yeah. You not about to get no clout off of me.
Every time you out there, I feel like any team, anytime he's out there, and if you a rookie or you young and you had to earn your way through, you gotta shut him down every time. Like, cause I know, like, people on the outside with their mind of wanting to be even, or this is one for the culture, or this is for that type of mindset don't matter to the people that grind in that arena that got where they at. We could be out here as workers and fans and watching and feel like that's one for us, and we're so proud of that. But the people that work hard, went to school and grind their ass off, or might be better and still didn't get picked.
Listen.
Oh, bro, like I feel for those people. I don't just look from this chair, from this viewpoint. I look at the person like if it was me, because I grind for things.
Right.
So I look at it from that lens of the man that grind hard and worked hard, and that one spot could have been his, but yet y'all gave it to him. And my stats and my grind, my 4 years in college, and because I
didn't do 4, I think he did 1.
But there's some that did.
There's some that went
and
forward.
Their numbers are probably even from high school were 4 years. But hey, that's how that thing rolls. So I get it, and that's where that's how games go in life. That's how it be. You know what I mean? You will get picked over if somebody knows somebody in there and you're a qualified person. But listen, I know that firsthand. Like, there was people that was trainers and getting picked to do shit, and they not even good. They not even with that smoke. So, it's who you know.
They not qualified.
Yeah, it's who you know. You know what I mean? Some people can say, hey, I'm this, and some people, they be like, yeah, you're this. You come in there and then, you learn as you go, but you never been, you know what I mean? So that happens. So, you know what I mean?
But you got lucky to get thrown into the fire.
Somebody, you know what I mean? But that shit, one thing I say about passion that burn deep in people, and it's your thing, you're gonna rise. Your time still comes.
Absolutely.
So like that player that might feel that with Bron is, but your time's still gonna come.
Right.
You still gotta grind. You still that's not part of your story. Him coming in, he didn't take nothing from you. Your destiny is still your destiny.
And I always believe that too. It's like when which for you is for you, and nobody can take it from you. Doesn't matter what they have, doesn't matter what they get, and you might feel like, damn, I should have what they have. That ain't got nothing to do with you. What's meant for you is meant for you. And it's always going to be that way. You know what I mean? That's the law of the universe. What's meant for you is yours, and you shall have it.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
So, I want to talk about this real quick. So, there was a couple shootings in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Cops shot a couple people, drove up a one-way, caused an accident. And these incidents were under investigation by the district attorney of Harrisburg, Shardo, whatever. I think that's his name, Shardo. Might be
know his name.
He know his name.
He knows his name.
Yeah, Shardo. we're gonna call him.
Sorry,
we're gonna call him the DA because I don't want to keep calling the man by the wrong name. And they investigated. So the first shooting, well, we're gonna go back to the first shooting that I know about that I read in an article. So there was a shooting down by the farm show where a man was shooting.
Yeah, I remember that.
They were shooting at each other through traffic. They was shooting around
just
civilians.
Broad day, civilians riding around. No, they didn't stop.
So that's
nothing.
the first shooting incident. And I'm saying this together because these cops were involved in these multiple incidents.
The same police officers.
Yes. 3 out of the 4 was involved in the 3. So,
damn.
So then you have a young boy. He was 20. Like they say, they pulled up on the scene at another location, and they got there after he was already engaged in a shooting.
Mm-hmm.
So when they approached, they was coming for the shooting. They seen him. He's running that pursuit, whatever they chased. So then it was said that he shot at them, and they chased him. They killed him. You heard in the video a whole bunch of bullets.
Right.
They never find no gun. All right, so they don't find no gun. They said he shot at them.
He was shooting at them.
Yeah,
they don't find no gun.
He has a record, because they bring up your record.
Right.
His past, he just came.
Absolutely. Well, it definitely make
so
you
we
look
got
like the
those
villain.
2 incidents. Then we got incident number 3.
You said 3, yep.
Now this one is this incident. So this incident is with the car, with the young boy home. The young boy Holmes, his last name was, and they were driving up a one-way. Oh no, the cops was coming up a one-way. They were coming down 19th. Now the driver didn't stop fully through. He didn't. We're not gonna say because they say
why were they coming up the one-way?
To the cops, they said he was speeding. He was trying to get to a traffic stop. Now it was not an engagement of like some shooting or you got to pull. He was trying to get to a traffic stop. The other car. Now I don't want to say it ran the stop sign. I like to use the term.
Rolling stop.
It's a rolling stop.
Everybody knows how
everybody
that goes.
does it.
We all do it.
So like they painted the picture like he just rolled through the stop sign. He ran it. It's a difference of running the stop sign and rolling.
To run the stop sign, you just don't stop at all. You don't hit brakes. Nothing.
Yeah. So he rolled the stop sign.
Right.
He paused not long enough, but you're not expecting to see a cop coming up.
If that's your neighborhood, most of us in our neighborhoods, that's what we do.
Right. So you're not expecting the cop to come flying up the runway, the wrong way. Then you have the shooting on 19th Street where the cops opened fire, 3 of them, or was it 4? 4 of them on a car. Young man was shot 9 times. He lived. He out the county right now. So he survived. And, people have talked to him. And he didn't know that. So they interviewed him at the hospital.
Right.
And he told the cops that he showed them the cell phone in his hand like a gun because he wanted them to shoot him because he'd rather die than go back to jail.
Is this what this man said?
They saying this is what this man said because this man, he's not saying that. He said he didn't even know what they said he said.
Right.
Like, this is what he's saying in there. He didn't even know this.
And the police are saying that he showed.
Like,
that's crazy.
So, he's been made aware of this is what they're saying you said. So they took all these incidents and found the cops not at fault. For none of it.
You was riding up a wrong
way. We ain't find no guns.
Wrong way.
We ain't find. So the narrative of he shot first in both instances, they had a gun because in order to shoot first, you got to have a gun.
Right. But no guns are found.
No guns are found in both situations. And
so they just out here wild cowboying.
Right. Yeah. So then we had incident that's not really an incident. I don't know how we would paint it because I seen Penn Live interview some lady from I don't know where. They always interview somebody from somewhere
that's not from the city.
When there's events, how she didn't feel safe. This was different than all the Caponas that she ever been to. And there was reportedly that the mayor got stomped.
I heard something like that. They knocked him down.
They knocked her down. And, bro, let me tell you something, right? And then she put out this message about how we need to be thankful and thank the police for preventing other situations from happening. And I'm glad, Tiff's not here for this, so that's good, because I can voice my opinion. She don't be liable to that. Bro, that's some bullshit.
Yeah. I agree. That's
then you drop a
crazy.
statement and say that we should thank the cops and appreciate them. Not after you just let them off. Like,
right.
You think the city doesn't feel some type of way that y'all allowed these cops that are supposed to be here to protect and serve us
to do whatever
they want, and then you think because y'all chased a couple hoodlums with guns at the Capona that you got to tell the other citizens we need to thank y'all and thank the police for keeping us safe from preventing something
but
from
y'all
happening.
Just as dangerous.
That's it to me, bro. I felt like that was really
it's a slap in the face, man.
Yeah, because like you want to send that and tell we need to thank our police for keeping people safe.
You talking about the same ones that shoot
like,
at us
then to make a statement,
and,
like because me, I wasn't at the Capona, right? So you sending this statement and like from witnesses, my daughters was down there and other people that they're not gonna interview everybody, but they had so many cops and the cops were profiling. Like,
oh, you know it.
It was already an uncomfortable place anyway because they had so many cops and the cops were profiling. So when you got it becomes like, how can I say this, bro? It becomes interesting, so to say, from a juvenile mindset. You got cops down here. You got them profiling. You got them already,
and they only looking at you.
Yeah, it stirs confrontation.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to stir confrontation. It's going to
stir
hostility from people because even if you ain't, but you like, yo, what the fuck y'all want? Like,
right.
Because this is the vibe we on now because y'all down here profiling. Because I can just imagine if I was walking with my family, y'all looking at me,
it's going to be a problem, right?
Like, I'm going to be staring back now.
Right.
I feel some type of way down here. I'm talking about me and my grown age.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are y'all looking at? Like, this is what,
even at your grown age. I agree because I'm like, you looking at me crazy. So do we have a problem?
Yeah. So now I feel like it wasn't just for, like, they were profiling everybody. Like, and that's what my people have told me that was down there. And I can only imagine because look what happened. That's the turnout. When you have, I don't know, bro. It's pressure, but.
The pressure on who? The police or the city or the event
on
the
on them
right.
on they keep everybody safe
right
and do what you have to do, but
it's a way you have to go about it.
Yeah, it is.
And it's like if you're not and this is the thing we always had a problem with the police, like interact with us before you just profile.
I feel like this, right? For stuff like that, in the component of the food trucks, things like that, you got to barricade it off, right? And there's only 2 entry points. Like, that's the shit you just got to do. Yeah. When you make people got to walk through entry points, you just can't walk through an alley and come through the center.
You can't just do nothing. Yeah, because if you can slide through the alley, it's a lot of dip spots right along Front Street.
I am so that we don't have this. You got to take more precaution on your end before it starts.
Right.
You know what I mean? It got to be entry points.
That's true.
Like,
I agree with that.
It's a free event. Yes, it's downtown, but you got to come in here in order to get through here. If you ain't swimming across that motherfucking river to get over here, then you got to come through these entry points. Like,
and I feel that makes perfect sense.
They do it for the concerts and stuff. Yeah. You put up them metal things and have cops at certain points. That's and here's the entry points to walk in here. And they're going to change their mind when you got to walk through these entry points.
Because you can only go through one filter.
Yes. And I feel like that's the necessary things that have to be in place. Like, regardless of the manpower or what it costs, instead of just having them standing there profiling and gritting, these are the entry points that you can come up here. And I'm talking about having them all the way down to the steps where the water comes up.
Absolutely.
Like, you're not sneaking up.
You can enter from either, and you know what I mean, from one side of the bridge or the other side of the bridge. But you can't, like you said, you can't come walking through the alleyways. Those should be barricaded off. Police can sit there and all those barriers and say, all right, well, if you want to get in, you got to go down there. And it forces you to see everybody that's coming in.
That's what it'll take until it's back to normal. You know what I mean? Because I feel like, bro, stuff can be back to normal, but the news and these outlets, social media, it paints this narrative. So when you paint this narrative that this is how this is, you're inviting
the riffraff.
You're inviting them because you're saying this is how this is.
Oh, we can come down here and
cut up. This is my element. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we give the narrative to things. Like, we write the narrative every time. Yeah. You know what I mean? We spook people every time. Like, people it would have been even to tell certain details We had incidents down there, this. No, they wanted to be heroic. We chased a person with an automatic weapon and he had a 9 with 30 shots in it. Bro, who the hell you think gonna want to come back down there next time?
Listen, nobody's coming to that.
Because they wanted to make themselves look heroic. Right. So that's why they added all that detail about what kind of gun and who they chased and who, like, that information wasn't needed. Bro, that information. We
caught the person that was doing the wrong.
Yeah, that's it.
The rest of the night went smooth.
That's it.
Everybody had a good time. No, they wanted
to be heroic, so they told these details and made it all, and I got trampled in my leg, and then
it couldn't have been too crazy because people were still down there the whole weekend.
Bro, listen, one thing, right? Let me tell you something. Bro. This is my opinion. I ain't going to say that this is subjective. It's not law. But I do feel that when stuff is not right, ain't nothing going to be right.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how it is.
You know what I mean? If you got some shit in your car to help one part of your car run, and that shit don't belong there, it's going to fuck up everything.
It's going to mess up everything else up.
It is. So, like, when you see this and the shootings and the things that happen, it's on her watch.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff on Carter's watch. Like,
I'm thinking they're being given free reign to quote unquote clean up the streets however they need to clean up the streets, and people are getting mixed up. The wrong people are getting mixed up opposed to like the people they actually need to go get. Like you saying, for them to be flying through a one way and he be like, oh, well, he was doing, and like y'all, what are y'all doing? Y'all caught him doing. Y'all quote unquote caught him doing something while you was in the middle of your bullshit, and so it's just like, all right, to kind of clean up my nonsense, we'll put it on him.
Yeah,
you shoot a kid, and but we don't find no. How you shoot a kid that he shot at you, supposedly, but there's no gun. What did y'all would have seen him throw the gun if he ain't had one? Like if he had it.
Man, I want to say this right. So that people won't be like, well, you don't know the situation the cops be in or when they be. I've been in shootouts. Shootouts a shootout.
Right.
If you a cop, you a military, I've been in shootouts where other people were shooting back multiple guns. A shootout's a shootout. Like, a shootout's a shootout. So, even on the aggressive side, right? If I'm coming, and not saying I'm taking you lightly, right? But cops have an authority where you know in your mind I can kill you and I got a better chance to happen, right? So I'm approaching it. I'm not scared. I tell you I'm scared when I do some bullshit and tell you
I'm waiting for this.
But I'm being real. In my mind, like, bro, you can't tell me that they not thinking like I would lay one of you niggas down. They gonna paint the narrative that they was scared after the fact. But, bro, you're not going to tell me that you give me a gun, I got this badge, and you not tell me that I don't think I got me a license to kill.
All the rights behind me. I got the governor, the mayor, the city, everybody's behind me.
I'm not coming into no shootout scared. Right? Hear me out. And I got my folks is coming, like my cop.
Once I say burp, burp,
they coming.
Oh
right?
Yeah.
So
and they shooting too.
When you see these situations, the overkill, bro. It ain't a situation where they shot, wounded, and I talked to an officer. They trained to kill.
They trained to kill. Yeah.
They trained to kill.
Are.
So
center mass. They shooting center mass.
They are trained to kill. So if you thinking what cops, they're trained for that. They are trained for that.
They're not trained to shoot you in the leg, your shin, your arm.
I know cops.
Center mass. They gonna shoot your ass.
I talked to one, used to be my client, and I'm telling you, they trained them to kill. He said, bro, they don't teach us to wound you, right? So we know that's the case.
But like you said, the overkill. It's like, all right, if my man is down and you shot him, he's down, he's screaming in pain, he's everybody, and they're like, do.
Bro, listen,
they still
and
bucking.
It's so crazy because if it's me, and this is just me, I don't know, bro, because you'll see that in instances where The female ain't shoot as many times as they did. You'll see it certain ones every time. Like, bro, they letting the whole thing go.
Yeah.
Like, they letting the whole thing go. You catching all.
I seen the cop reload.
Yeah.
Reload. He shot the man already. He emptied his whole clip.
Yeah.
Reloaded. My man wasn't going nowhere.
Yeah.
And they still, get down. Mm-hmm. He's already down. You can't, you can't shoot him alive now.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't shot. Like, and they still was shooting. So it's like, yeah, I agree. Like, they do have a hard job. But you know what you sign up for.
Yeah.
That's with any of us. You know what you sign up for. I won't discredit their job, but I believe the same thing.
Yeah.
They come in there with the mentality that I have this power, that you will obey my authority that I was given, and if I want to shoot you and kill you right now, there won't be shit you can say or do that's going to ever. And it doesn't matter if we've seen it. It don't matter if you catch it on camera. Yeah. If you was standing right there live. Yeah. If the cop themselves said, "Yeah, I killed him, and I did it because I was scared," or whatever the case. Yeah. We've seen it so many times that it doesn't really matter whether they were scared, whether they weren't scared, whether they just feared for their life, whether they didn't, whether the person had a gun, whether they didn't have a gun. I thought they had a gun. Yeah. I don't know, but we just see them shoot because they not. Listen, if you have that authority, you're not going to. Why am I not going to use it? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Especially when I don't have no ties to anybody here. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? When we see it, they like, oh, they don't shoot white because that's their cousin.
But see, that's their brother. Not true. Though,
I mean, they shoot everybody. Like, they shoot everybody.
They fuck up everybody, bro.
I agree. I agree.
They like there's this thing where white and black division is always at the head of our culture, America.
This is America,
the worldwide.
Yeah, world.
Like that was the even in the 1400s, that was the thing. Europeans were trying to exile blacks, Africans, anyone of African descent. You know, we were profitable, but at the same time, they wanted to make sure they kept us inferior. Like, they wanted to make sure the narrative of black and white always exists, and that white was superior and we were inferior. It wasn't about no other race. We were the race that had to be exterminated. We were the most sought out to keep as beast and keep as ignorant. That was us. So this narrative of black and white is still alive today. That's prevalent, it's never going to go nowhere. This America was built on it. Institution of life is built on it. I'm talking about dating back before colonialism. Right. This shit was before we even got to over here. Like, that shit was already starting way before South segregation and
it's been
slavery.
This is the history of the world.
So it's always been that odds, and this is what this is how it's going to be. And even if you think you don't understand it or know it, you know it. Like, policing, sheriffing, all that stuff is formed off of that stuff. Even though we use it today and try to change the narrative of it,
it's the same thing.
It's the same thing, and it's always going to be the same. And it's embedded in the core. You know, some people become cops to do better and to serve and to do, and you know who those are.
And respect
some come to uphold the law in which it was created to be upheld. Right. And that was to make sure that blacks stay under the boot. Like, that's that first and foremost. Like, so this thing of black, white is here, is real. The lighter you are, the more entitled you are. That is a real thing. So that narrative is here, man. And in those, I study in those realms. Like, that is the perceived. Even when they do it with like psychologists, they bring white people, show them pictures and say what it relate with black, and when you hear the answer, like, it's embedded in people.
When they show that the kids,
like, so it's things like where they associate blacks to having guns, blacks for being aggressive, so like, this is embedded in their DNA, just like what we know about them is embedded in ours. It's one of these things where we'll come out and say, hey, yeah, we got to work together, we got to be together, but down inside, like, and not everyone's like that, but you know, this is.
But it's a lot of people, because it's like
the system and what
even with having, I'm cool with white folks. I'm cool with everybody. Like that don't really sway me. But I do also understand that they're a little bit different than us. Yeah. They don't necessarily believe or think the way we think or view things the way we. And you see it like this is a time where this is the political time of year coming up, and you see that's when you start to see the true division of this country. Because when it's not election year, election season, it's like, oh, everything seems it's quiet, it's peaceful, ain't no hate crimes going on. I mean, they're always going on, but when election time comes up, it's like, all right, you start to see it's not a division by good and bad or who has a better policy. Right. This is literally just about black and white or what you deem to be good and evil. And you see it a lot at this time. And I watch people say, well, I'm voting for this person because of this, or I'm voting because of this. And you're like, that reasoning sounds like bullshit, but it just sounds like whatever you want to come up with to say this is why you're doing what you're doing, and everybody's entitled to whatever they're entitled to. Yeah. But it's still like, nah, you really just doing it because you feel like that person is going to make being white right again. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I done heard people talk about shit that don't really even pertain to them. I done heard people talk about my financial status. You don't make the type of money that, you know what I mean, that person is representing. Yeah. They talking about gas, brother, you don't drive. So what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? We talking about, you can't just have an abortion. Brother, is that your decision? Like, you can't take care of your kids, nigga. So you can't tell somebody they don't care. And it's just like, but it is that ignorance of saying, well, this is just what I know and I don't care. And we all have that, but it just...
I understand, bro. I promise you, I understand.
I have no clue.
Man, my fault.
Oh, something outside. I don't know. Sorry about that, y'all. But maybe y'all can hear it. Maybe y'all can. Oh, it's like, damn, they hear them talking. But
it's a thing where you have them making the agenda. Like it's always be that way, and I understand that, and I understand that more than ever before. So now I understand how they feel they have the right to make these rules, come up with this law, judge you off of this, judge you off of that. Yes, white people are going to get less time than black people. That was part of law. Like they said that they'll never judge us and sentence a white man to the same terms that they sentence a black man. And that was in the early starts of slavery. Like, and when they started creating judgment and started creating the penal system and court and sheriffing and law, like that was something that they sat at the table and said that a white man will never be held to the same punishment as a colored person. Right. So you know that this country was founded on that. That's not going to change. So we got to stop looking for rescue or something that's going to clear us up from the shit that we do that puts us in the mix where they get the judges and hold and do what they want with our life. We have to stop putting ourselves in that situation and then come in looking for some type of fairness where that doesn't come with that. When you won't ever find, when it was never meant to be fair or equal or any, it was never designed to be that way. And even when Dr. Martin Luther King was fighting for equality, it was never going to be equal. It was never designed to be equal. And that's where I felt, Malcolm X understood that we ain't here to be equal. We here to just do what we do for ourselves and to take care of ourselves. To be equal to them would say that ultimately he was trying to be evil. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's sad that things won't probably ever change. No, they won't. Is it sad? I don't know. I think for us it's sad because we need to change us. It ain't gonna change, bro. I know that because it's not. It's only gonna get worse. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say it's gonna get worse. In my opinion, I think because of what I'm seeing now. Worse in which way? as far as how we're acting, what I want to
it is
understand that.
acting. It's the way we
how worse
act.
can we get?
I think we
How worse?
we are at a point right now where we are bad. We are bad. The things we're being presented through our culture, the things that we find acceptable or not find acceptable, but the things that get promoted in our culture. We get our culture is over sexualized. We cool with everybody. Every rapper could kill 1,000 people, and nobody's gonna be like, he still got
right.
the hottest album out. So I'm thinking at this point, if we just allow this shit just to go on,
you know what's so crazy?
it's only could get worse from here. Go ahead.
Crazy, right? Bro, we've been like that.
Even prior to.
Right. So even when even in the 1400s, bro, when they were collecting slaves, I'm talking about back, like, so the book where it started, like the journey of Christianity and it built, and like it show you from the beginning to the building of America, but it takes you to where that's why slavery has stopped in Europe and Eastern countries, and that was part of the reason that America went to war when they was talking about the Boston Tea Party.
Mm-hmm.
That's because Europe said they were done with slavery and they were closing the slave ports in Europe.
Yeah.
They was in the slavery. They were letting people were accepting Christianity, getting baptized. Blacks were showing that they could survive, learn, and they were seeing we wasn't animals. So they started, like, different teachers started coming out and started preaching different forms of Christianity where blacks can become Christians, Africans, baptized, they accept Christianity, and that was the thing. So they were giving people equal rights over here, but the United States were breaking from that.
Right.
It was like, nah, we keeping these niggas in chains.
Yeah,
They're keeping them. That's so. But during that whole process, they were showing how, like, that was part of their message, how fast we breed and how fast, how strong our bodies was for birth and having. Like, and how we, like, were, like,
naturally
so that was part of their classifying as animals, because they said we made it like animals. Like, we just were producing people and kids. We could produce people, like,
quickly.
Black women, like, strong, their uterus produces strong people by the, so, like,
they had 20, 30, 40, 50 kids back in the day.
They got to a point where it was so many of us, and that we was taking over. They had to write letters to other slave holders and slave poachers and different, to not be alarmed, because the Negro, blacks was growing. Yeah. It was growing. Even plantations they were making babies. Like, they started killing off because we were growing. But they said they never seen a species that made it the way we did. When they put us with the Indians, they came back, it was forming villages.
Right.
Like, bro, everywhere we went, like, people were
starting
in the 14, they would come back, it was a whole, like, tribe of new people. Like, that's how, like, they'll come back. And when they brought some blacks with the Indians over in certain parts of, before it was called, like, the Americas, they came back, it was whole villages. They stayed, and within a year to 2 years time, they'll come back 3 years. It's like they'll see how the blacks and Indians mixed, and there was built a whole
new tribe
of people. Yes, like, so we have been, when we say this sexualized and how we've been this way. Like, we've been,
I know we've been
populators and been
sexual people.
Yes, since, like, stronger than any other race.
But okay, so maybe the ignorance. And back then, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, how we're exploiting it.
Yes. Okay. So I'll say that exploitation of it.
Because
we are sexual people,
right? And I say that because they even had a thing where it was in this book that white men were so attracted to black women, and black women wasn't attracted to the white man how they were attracted to them.
Right.
So they started raping them, and they were mad because black women basically were still loyal to their men. Yes. So, like, white men didn't like that. So they started, like, first they was killing off men and boys and trying to keep the women, and then they would have the poor whites, because it was a thing where upper echelon men couldn't mess with black women. Right. So that's where. So this is where mulatto came from. Mulatto is a horse and a donkey, a mule.
Oh,
that's where mules were called mulatto. That's where that came from. So when you had a strong white man, which was the horse, mixed with a donkey, which was the black person, you had the mule. That's where mules came from. So that's where mulatto came from.
Right.
So they believe that if they could have a poor white man have a baby to a black woman and they have a mulatto, then a white man comes through and have a baby to the mulatto, it would start to thin out the white race. And it would take away from the black woman. So that's what they had a thing where they started, where they thought they was just going to rape and pregnant. That's where it's like a whole place over where it was all mulatto people. Because they were doing that, trying to thin out the white race, because the lighter you can make your skin, the more white.
Is that what they call the people in Louisiana? What do they call them?
It's a whole race. It's a whole race from over there.
But they look white, but they black.
They're black.
The Geeksiers, the gully people.
There's a whole of people like that. That was their mission. Like when they was going through color racism and trying to thin out our pigment, or melon. Yes, that's why they started having. So they would have poor white men sleep with the black one. Yes, because upper.
So then the rich white men could sleep with the mulatto baby,
and then it was. And that's how that. But that was all their agenda to try to. Because at first they was like, well, we can wipe them out that way. But then we was producing too fast, and so they started making up laws, because in that time, white men were not allowed to even be with black women. So they were like, they did something to the first white man, but then they said we can't kill our own people. So if you rape a black woman or they have a baby, the black woman's baby still will go into slavery. Like, and if a white woman had a baby to a black man or something like that,
they would stay in the house.
Yeah, you would be a field, or you'll still be a worker, but you got different jobs depending on how you look, because they will use you for your looks. Like they'll have you serve like you'll be in doing the job. They'll teach you certain things that you will learn how to do, so that it worked for them. Everything that they was like, if we educate them. As long as we educate them and we hold us superior, we can educate them, but their history and all the knowledge that they learn has to be of us. So that way they will understand that we are superior. We have built this country. We have did X, Y, and Z. That's why they blotted out anything that would have showed you what that was. So even around the same time of the Boston Tea Party and that act was going on, where the colonies was rebelling from the Europeans, the Europeans was telling them, look, we're done with slavery. We're closing ports. This thing is not going to be. And you had certain people like Cotton Mather, certain other diplomats, Arab Puritans, different Stoic Greek philosophers. They was like, nah, like that was over there. We ain't nah. And there was some still in Europe that was still for the slavery, still finding ports. There was countries still that had to bump heads with Europe that was still like, hey, we still doing this. So then it was African kings and African people that was like, well, they don't got to go to Europe. We gonna give them to y'all.
Straight to the source.
So we gonna give them to y'all. So they had to find, because the ports over here were still open. Massachusetts, Virginia,
they stayed open forever.
But like the biggest ports used to be up in the upper part of Europe. And it was like a different, like, because you can get different goods. So Europe started cutting off goods from the colonies, but they still was trading it to the Africans, so then they was giving them that, and they would get, so okay, we gonna get it from them, so then we gonna get them from y'all that way.
So we'll just middleman you, but we'll go straight to the source with them. But
that's
take
where
the
they found out. So they was like, "Oh, no, y'all got to stop that over there." So that's where the war. It wasn't just over no tea. They was like, "Nah, we keeping our slaves, and we ready to fight for that shit." So that's what that war wasn't just over the Boston Tea Party and the taxes. It wasn't about, bro. That shit was over slavery too. Like that was the main part of what the fight was really about.
America fought hard for slavery. They fought hard for slavery.
They fought each other.
If they fought Europe for slavery, we had a civil war for slavery. Like it's only to be. Let's keep slavery. We don't want to lose. This is how we are rich. This is how we are growing. We don't want to lose slavery.
They said we could build. They said like towns, like places that over here. So when they said we built this, we did.
Oh, we absolutely did.
Bro, we built things and got it up so fast. We was so like from the crops, the sharecrop. They said like how much cotton we could pick in a day. They used to write letters of how far the Negro body can go with endurance to pain. And how long it can be out in the sun and work. They was like, yo, these blacks, they can stay out in the sun for hours,
all day long,
hours, and work non-stop with a good whip in them. They'll work like, bro, we was doing shit non-stop, and they was like, yo, we're not it was so lucrative. Like, and then when they was trading, especially like they was getting the Nubians, the best looking like they was picking them and they would have you in the house like for display, and then they would even know we gonna have this strong man mate with this strong woman, and they gonna have like, yo, that's how that shit, like they were breeding puppies.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? So it was that, and they was breeding them so much because the cotton was taking over. Bro, listen, let me tell you real quick. I know. It got so crazy how much cotton and things that India made cotton itself. India was a big cotton, bro. They were making so much cotton from the slaves and over here in the South that it shut the country of India out. And people from there, thousands and millions of people lost their job because they was big on cotton, bro, because they didn't need it no more because they had us over here and we was doing numbers. So
I know
it turned India into what it did because their resources died out that they didn't need them. It picked back up after slavery and after all of that like died down, and they canceled slavery over in the eastern countries,
right?
Bro, because all of that shit was keeping slaves all the way over to Asia. Even like it was all the way over, like they were taking us everywhere, and when they came back, Europeans were the only ones enslaving us. When they got back over there to certain parts of Asia, bro, we done became mixed together. They said they seen people that looked like the Negroes, the Noses, even with the Asian. They were mixing in everywhere. Yeah. It was just that Europeans was sending letters like, y'all don't want to mix with them. They don't want to, because we were everywhere.
Going to take over.
We were everywhere.
We going to take over.
Bro, they wanted to make sure that they was the superior. And they knew that, like, not saying they were our allies, but they knew, oh, nah, everywhere they go, everybody else. And then
they'll lock in. So they understand what it is. Bro. Yeah, it's very different, man.
When you look at it, so some of the ways of how we are and the things we do, it's embedded in us.
It is.
It's in us. We can't even say where we come from because I'm talking about when they be like 600 years, it's deeper than that.
Yeah.
It's go way
There's no way we could possibly do
it's deeper than that.
Because you figure with the rapes, with the sale of different family members, like you don't know. We could be related to whoever, and we could be related. We don't even know. Like it's like because so many people got traded, like families just obliterated immediately. Okay, this is the man in the family. We keep him. Y'all going to Virginia. Y'all going to Florida. We ain't never going to see each other again. There ain't no social media.
Like nothing. Like some of them states that you see that they have slaves, they were late in the game. Like some of them states, because at first it was Massachusetts.
Because it was only 13 colonies at first, and slavery started then. So
and it was late in the game. So like that's
and that was all northeastern colonies. Those was no southern colonies at all.
The crazy part is we were already over here. There was we were already over here before they even started colonizing and coming and trying to build that new world of England. Like we were already over here with the end. Like we were already traveling. We were already being dropped off before we were considered slaves by them. We were coming in a business capacity. Like it wasn't.
So it went from workers.
It went from slavery. It went from workers that we was coming to earn and do and thinking we're
part of the ship. Actually, we're here to do work and work on the ship to help them people do.
They agreed that we was the first people because God put us here with the animals to be a service and a servant to them, and that we were animals. That's why they will say that we were the first people. Right. But that's why they say that we were the first people, that God put us here on the boat with no... to
work with y'all.
That was their...
To work serve them. To serve them. Ain't that crazy?
So we were over here...
But y'all wasn't even here first.
It was called the state in the 13th with the end, like, because we were... And when they came back, you just seen, they was like, oh, nah... Them people were going. So the first original black, they done mixed with the Indians everywhere we was. Alaska, bro, we were everywhere. 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 And we were everywhere.
That's still how it is.
Cuba, Puerto Rico, everywhere.
You can't send us everywhere. We taking that.
We were the most, we could populate. Didn't matter, like, so we had, like, they had Sierra Leone was a lot of places. Nigeria, KHO, the coal people, like there was 7 main ports of slaves that they took. So everybody, every place they didn't go in, bro, because some people were already educated and knew that we see y'all. Right. The ones that wasn't, they would use us to convince. Come on, go with them, and that's not. So they did hit us with the banana in the tailpipe.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't like they were just coming over and hurry up, shackling you in. Nah, it was like, oh, come on, you're doing.
They had to play it way smoother than that because y'all wasn't even. They wasn't even.
We
wasn't
like smart. That. We wasn't smart.
But we was still warriors.
We was warriors, and we knew
how to survive.
Yeah, they ran into the the intellect, because they ran into the ones that live like animals, that like almost walk like monkeys, like they jumped and moved around and
they live like the land.
Yeah.
They live like the land.
That's like we're the Jungle Book.
Right.
But yeah, we got to be out politics.
Hey, listen, man. This was a dope conversation.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Tiff. We miss you.
Yes.
We'll see you next week. But
right.
you know what I'm saying? This has been Quit the Cat Podcast.
Yes, sir.
It's your boy BP alongside the Bishop.
Right.
Shout out Positive.
That's
Until
right.
next time, people.
Peace.
Peace to the gang, peace to the gang, and welcome to Quit the Cat Podcast.